From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a huge day for June 22nd, 2022. About your money, as Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, testified on Capitol Hill minutes ago, and his comments were not well received by Elizabeth Warren. She went after him, and what did she say about him, the economy, and your money? Boy, it's a shocker, and we have the latest details in today's recording. What Liz Warren is referring to is exactly what we've been covering on this channel for you and the members. The phases of this economy now to September. In September, a very bad situation, why you got to get every pot of money right today. Why January is likely the start of a recession. How do you get prepared for it? By getting that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state now. It's been in every U.S. state since the month of March. And how do you get it? You become a member. You go right on this channel's video and you become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. You get the newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that has those incredible checks in there. In today's recording, we go over more about those checks. Stay to the very end. We have a new surprise for you coming up later in the video. Meantime, we have breaking news as well, as we have the latest details on new reports out about stimulus checks. Yes, the pure stimulus checks, and what the reaction is, and the likelihood of another round of pure stimulus checks. I'll go over the details of that report out today. It's fascinating. Then we'll be looking at what's going on with the situation with stocks, supply chain, gasoline, housing, labor, and your money. And finally, in this recording, we're going to do three things. First, we're going to go over where this economy is. We're going to go over where the economy is going. Then we'll go over what your money is available for right today. A forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. You get it. You go onto this video right now, you subscribe, you become a member, you get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And in today's recording, we go over this huge money. You deserve it. It's coming to you if you go and pounce. But if you don't, you're going to pounce in a big way negatively throughout this economy. We'll go over all the details you need to know as America's most loved show at the midday kicks its feet up. It's Afternoons LALATE, starting right now. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day for June 22nd, 2022. We have a lot of major breaking news. Later in this video, stay to the very end. I'll be announcing a new rollout of items for members. Brand new. If you're already a member, you're going to get this brand new item. And if you are becoming a member today, you'll get it as well. How do you become a member? You go right in this video and subscribe, and then click the link to become a member. Join Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. That newsletter comes out with those big forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. We're going to do three things in today's recording. How are you for June 22nd, 2022? First, we're going to go over where this economy is. We're going to go over where the economy is going. And then we're going to get you big checks and stay to the very end because we have a big surprise now for members. Brand new offering included in your membership. All right, here we go. Jay Powell appearing on testifying on Capitol Hill today before a congressional committee. It was the Senate today, and he was drilled by both Republicans, drilled by Democrats, and the narrative was much the same in the series of questions. First he spoke, then the questions came, and then his reaction. It's more the questions and the reaction which was fascinating. Remember, they represent not only their state, but they also represent you, these senators. So Jay Powell, appearing on Testify at Capitol Hill, started with opening comments where he said, at the Fed, we understand the hardship high inflation is causing. Good. We strongly are committed to bringing inflation back down. Good. Moving expeditiously to do it. Meaning moving fast. Good, good, good. So far, he's on point. This was before the Senate Banking Committee, a subcommittee of the Senate, so it's not the full Senate, it's just a committee of which Liz Warren is on it. Here we go. He says we have both the tools we need, untrue, and the resolve to take it to a price stability on behalf of the American families and businesses. Well, he's dedicated to it, but he does not have the tools. Then here comes the comedy routine. Have you seen him in Las Vegas? He has a one-person show. Yeah, a one-person show and a one-audience show. Here we go. He said 2% inflation is our goal by the end of the year. Yeah, and my goal is that I fly in a flying car. So here we go. Over the coming months, we'll be looking for compelling evidence that inflation is moving down, consistent with inflation returning to 2%. Well, the first half of the sentence was good, that he's trying to get inflation down by the end of the year, but not to 2%. It was earlier this year that yours truly, who has gotten predictions for where this economy is going correctly month after month, said that Jay Powell will never get inflation down to 2% later this year. It'll go down to 4% if he's successful, because he does not have the tools to bring inflation down. Why? Because inflation currently has been caused by gasoline. And whatever Jay Powell does not impact the price of gasoline. Moreover, it's also been caused by supply chain disruption, getting products out of the port, on the trucks, on the ships to you, and he has nothing to go over the shipping and handling or distribution of products in the United States at the Federal Reserve. But he will get it down. And after I said 4%, Department of Labor and the Congressional Budget Office, both important agencies of the federal government, said he's not getting 2%. He's getting 4%. So here he was again doing his comedy routine. It's not appearing in an HBO special anytime soon. So here we go. We anticipate that the ongoing rate increases will be appropriate. They are, to some extent. The pace of those changes will continue to depend on the incoming data in the evolving outlook for the economy. This is important for you, that sentence. This is critically important for you. We talked about this last night. What is he saying in that sentence? He's basically saying, we're going to look at the incoming data, the data coming in from Wall Street, from Department of Labor on a regularly daily basis, and we may pivot. We may change our policies at Federal Reserve very abruptly if something changes. This is what I've been teaching the viewers very strongly on this channel since at least February, but more so in the last few days. You need to know where the economy is, you need to know where it's going, and you need to get money. And I'm telling viewers, you got to do two things in a given day. Well, actually, three things. You got to watch the videos, the new videos at least every day, and so that you know where we are and where we're going, and you got to spend the rest of the day getting money. If you disappear for a few days and not watch videos, you disappear for a week and miss videos, the economy could dramatically change, and you're going to miss what happened. People who do not know what's happening with their economy precisely, I don't mean vaguely, I mean precisely, are going to be left by the wayside in 2023, in late 2022. And that is what's going on. We're talking about those phases. Let's go over those phases right now. There are three phases I've identified for this U.S. economy. Phase one we're in right now. It's between now and September. It's a downward spiral of this economy. Americans are going to be shocked because their wallets that may have looked good in February will look horrible by September. Their jobs may be gone. Their homes may be in big trouble. Their rent may be in big trouble. Their whether it's labor or their stocks or their bonds, housing, auto, a lot of things are going to get really bad very, very quickly. Americans that don't know that's coming are going to be thinking, wait a second, it was just really good just a few days ago. What did I miss? What you miss is a downward spiral of this economy. What you miss is LA. You got to watch this channel, the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. Phase 2 is the dramaticness of September. September will be as bad as the lockdown of the pandemic. Then phase 3 is the recession. I was the only U.S. broadcaster for financial news reporting there would be a recession, and I first reported it back in February. I reported a lot of stuff earlier on, and this is why you got to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. You need to go in this video and become a member right now. If you're not a member, do it the second. You can't wait. Go under this video, join this channel, become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. So Jay Powell so far hasn't been too ridiculous, but it was really fascinating when you saw his non-prepared remarks, which were basically his responses to questions. It doesn't even sound like the same person. Here they come, and it starts with Liz Warren. Liz Warren had the first big major question. You know, Jay, you know what's worse than higher inflation and low unemployment is high inflation and a recession with millions of people out of work, and I hope you'll reconsider that before you drive the economy off the cliff. That is one sentence. That's not three sentences. That is one sentence. I don't think Days of Our Lives could have a more dramatic sentence than that one, right before, Bo reappears out of the grave to tell Hope that they're getting divorced. This is a shocker of a line. We hope that you understand that what's worse than high inflation and low unemployment is high inflation with recession, with millions of people out of work, and I hope you reconsider that before you drive the economy off the cliff. And have a beautiful day. Oh boy, I love her. I love her for that sentence. Here's J Powell's reaction. Now, this is interesting. It's not the same J Powell robot J Powell that just keeps on saying 2% inflation by the end of the year. He actually has a very bipolar personality. He has a different type of reaction to this quote. He says, "It's certainly a possibility." Oh my goodness! Right there. Wait a second. It's certainly a possibility. I'm driving you off the cliff. Excuse me. I don't have Liz Warren's facial reaction when he says, "It's certainly a possibility. I'm driving you off the cliff." Just hope you have your seatbelt on. No, he did not say that, but can you imagine the head of the Federal Reserve saying, it's certainly a possibility I'm driving you off the cliff. It's just not our intended outcome. There are roads in the United States. We don't need not to go off of cliffs. It's not our intended outcome at all, but it's certainly a possibility. Oh my God. He's telling us the plot twist. He's telling how the ending of the movie is. It's certainly a possibility we're going off the side of the cliff. Folks, have you become a member of this channel yet? Have you become a member of this channel? Have you told your friends and family to get over and watch this channel? You do it right now. The Fed of the Federal Reserve just said that we may be going off a cliff, and it's certainly a possibility. Do you not see that warning signal? I think I need one of those banners behind me. Maybe a donut, inflatable donut behind me, bouncing up and down that says, "It's certainly a possibility we're going off a cliff. Get ready." Cliff bars? No. Cliff beds? Yeah, that's where we're potentially going. It's a possibility. Wow. Okay, so here we go. Today I got a nice private message from someone on social media. It said, is there stimulus in every state? I said, yeah, there is. Have you watched any videos? No, I've been watching broadcast TV. They haven't mentioned anything. I said, do you watch this channel? No, where do I find it? I'm like, how did you find me on social media? You don't know who I am. It's just, okay. Maybe it's a punk. Maybe it's Alex appearing on an Ashton Kutcher revival. It's not our intended outcome at all, but it's certainly, and quite frankly, the events of the last few months around the world have made it more difficult to achieve what we want. Wow. This J Powell I really like. He's very honest here. He says there's a possibility we're going off a cliff. It's very difficult to achieve our goal. And our goal, which is 2% inflation and still a strong labor market. So let's make this clear what happened here. This is a J Powell I've never seen before. I had to actually double read the quote before I went on camera. He first says our goal is 2% inflation by the end of the year, and we think we have the tools to do it. And I said he doesn't, he's not going to get it. Then Liz Warren says, you're driving me off a cliff. You're driving us all off a cliff. You're going to throw this economy into recession. You know what you're doing? He said, yeah, it's very much a possibility. That's what I'm doing, and it's really hard to do what I'm doing. But I want to do 2% inflation, but I may not get it there. Wow. So like, can you go back and revise your opening comments? Can you go back and revise them? J Powell has given you the warning signal. If you not become a member of this channel, what are you doing? If you don't watch this channel daily, hourly, miss videos, you're going to miss the implosion of the economy. We'll be going over that more in a second. Now, here we come with the Republicans. What was the Republicans' reaction? Senator John Kennedy, who's a Republican of Louisiana, says inflation's hitting my people so hard it's coughing up bones. He's from Louisiana. He's from Louisiana. They're always thinking about ribs. Him and Blade 66. Inflation's hitting my people so hard they're coughing up bones. Wow. Yeah, can I put that on a t-shirt? He also says, we got a hell of a mess right now, and you're the most powerful person in the United States, maybe the world. The Pope is watching. He's not happy with that comment. Just, whoa. So that was clearly a Republican. You're more important than Joe Biden. Well, this is interesting because the Republican's comment basically says that he thinks that Jay Powell can get this under control. He can't. And here's the problem. The problem for you is that there's two parts to what's going on in society right now. You and everyone else. You are the people who know what's going on with the economy hourly, daily, weekly. You know what's going on with the stocks, the bonds, the auto, the housing, travel and leisure, labor, unemployment. You know what's going on before other people do because you watch this channel. Other people don't are going to get blindsided. Let me tell you what's going to go on in the next 90 days. And if you're new to this channel, let me tell you, my track record on predicting things is very much on point. In the next 90 days, between now and September, the following things are going to happen. People are going to get laid off, and then the housing market's going to crash even more than it has. Stock market's going to crash more than it has. And travel and leisure and hospitality is going to get even worse. By September, this economy is going to mirror the day one of the pandemic, March of 2020. It's going to be that bad. It's going to be that bad. And then from January to 2024 will be the recession. I was the first American broadcaster to report that there's a recession coming, but let me tell you what's going on. My predictors, when I show you those phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, I made it clear yesterday. I want to make it a little clear today. These are what I'm predicting are the time horizons, but the items could come earlier. Yesterday I said there's a lot of confusion coming out of Europe. There's a lot of confusion, and you refer to Europe as one country. It's not one country. It's lots of countries. There's big concern right now today for June 22nd whether certain major European countries are in recession today. And we really don't know. U.S. broadcasters are having problems looking at the data because a lot of the countries don't release economic data as freely as we do. And you look at it, you say, that looks like a recession. If they go into recession sooner than we do, and a lot of them do, we'll get pulled in faster. So I need to make warning to you that you got to get prepared for this. All right, so how do you get prepared? You get those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. You get those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Now, let me tell you what's going on between now and September. Between now and September, Americans are going to go from good times to bad times. And as they go from good times to bad times, people who don't watch this channel are going to look for checks, and they're going to look for the checks that they got in 2020 and 2021. We call this donetta, donut guy, donut girl. And they're going to repeat what they saw before, what they heard before, and think they can do the same thing they did before. It's a different year. It's a different year, and stimulus works different ways today. The way you get the stimulus today is you move to get it. You learn to earn. Last 2 nights ago, we had a wonderful viewer named Lorraine who revealed that she watches the videos with a binder and takes notes and writes notes. Lorraine has gotten over $150,000 from the channel. Why? Because she's taking copious notes on where this economy is and how to get stimulus checks covered in the videos. And that is the difference between a Lorraine and a non-Lorraine. A non-Lorraine is a person who says, when is an automatic check going to land in my account? When are they sending out automatic checks for these group of people? When? Let me tell you the landscape of a new article out today. And I got to tell you, this is the non-Lorraines that are reading this article. The article says that pure stimulus checks may return in the recession, but only potentially one of them. And that the consensus right now, when looking at economists, when looking back at the pure stimulus checks, that there may have been too many of them, and that they may have been too broad, and that they may not be appropriate in the case of an inflation. Let me look at this. Let me analyze this for you. Oh, also I forgot to tell you, it's been the lead story for 2 days in a row. Number one. First, a financial broadcasting channel, the number one, right in front of LA, has gone from reporting that everyone has a job, that there's job security, that there's a labor shortage, that it's hard to get employee, to now reporting about need help. That's the whole change in just 1 month of their stories. The lead story they've had for 2 days in a row is about stimulus checks. It really is. But the way they're reporting them is fascinating. That they say, we have done a stimulus check, one single, in prior recessions. We did it in the recession of 2001 and 2008. It was only one check. That the stimulus check this time in the past, in 20 to 2021, worked, but maybe it was too much of them, too many of them, and maybe it was for too many people. It should only been for people in real dramatic dire need. And number three, a stimulus check would absolutely not be wanted when there's inflation because people would blame it on the inflation. The perception from amongst some Republicans and some moderate Democrats is that you don't give stimulus when there's inflation because that's going to bring inflation higher. You give stimulus when there's a recession. Now, you see where I'm going with this? Yeah. I told you earlier in this recording that the recession's coming in 2023. Are you going to wait around for a one single check potentially of $200 in 2023? No, you're going to lose your home by then. You're going to lose your car, your business, your job. If you're going to wait around for potentially a single movement for a single check to battle recession, yeah. Which brings us back to Build Back Better Act. I'm going to put this earlier in the video today because people have been asking this a little bit more. Whatever happened to Build Back Better? Whatever happened to Build Back Better? I believe it's going to get done. I am optimistic, faithful, and dedicated it's going to get done. But it's absolutely 100% positively never going to get you any money in your hand between now and the start of phase 2, which is 90 days from now. It's not going to get you any money in your hand in 90 days from now. And you need money today. You need money today. You need that money to prepare for phase 2. And waiting around for Build Back Better Act is not going to be good for you financially. It's going to be horrific. So you're not going to sit around for 90 days and talk about what happened to Build Back Better Act, what happened to Build Back Better Act, what happened to Build Back Better Act, because in 90 days from now, it will still not have given you a penny. There's no time horizon that can get it into your hand in 90 days. You need lots of money between now and September. That's the part of the equation that is so important to understand. That's why you have to become a member. You go right in this video right now and you subscribe. And you become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. You become a member. It goes right on the video where it says join this channel. And get these incredible checks that are in every U.S. state. What are these checks? Back in the month of March, viewers said to me, LA, can you find me checks? Because no one finds checks better than anyone else. This is the third part of every video. I tell you where this economy is, where we're going, and how to get money. No one finds you more money than me on this channel. You're not going to hear this on broadcast media, print media, cable news, or anywhere else. You're not going to see this in the local news. You're not going to see it automatically in your bank account. If you do nothing, you have to pounce to get these checks. They're big. $80,000 forced stimulus checks since the month of March. For you, yes, actually more. The average viewer of this channel qualifies for over nearly $100,000 of these checks, and they have been live since the month of March. Have you got to them? If you've not, you're going to get them by watching the second half of this video. Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Go right in this video right now. Step 3, stay to the second half, and we're going to get these big checks. Did you know that in 2020, if you were a 1099 or anything similar to that, you could have gotten nearly $200,000 of stimulus? You didn't get it, and you are? Well, that was the difference. When you know the information, you earn. Learn to earn. You need to learn where the money is. You need to learn how to get the money. You need to learn where this economy is. You have to learn how quickly to get the money because the situation of the economy is getting really bad very quickly to earn it. If you do nothing, you get nothing. And as I said on this video, there are going to be two parts of this economy going forward. There are going to be the Lorraines, which are you, and everyone else, the non-Lorraines, the people who just sit around and look at the direct deposit balance on their bank account, waiting for someone to slap it with $12. $12, that's all you gave me? Yeah, that's all I'm going to give you. See you back in 10 years from now. That is not going to get you survival in the downward spiral economy. What is this channel. And we got those incredible checks in the second half of this video. Plus, we'll have a preview of what's going on with those raising up of benefits. And stay the second half. Because if you're a member, you're getting new benefits starting this week. What are those new benefits for just for members? Oh, it's exciting. It's coming up in the second half. It's a beautiful day here along the coast. We were supposed to have a rainstorm this morning. We didn't. It's Los Angeles. Of course not. But in the second half of this video, we'll be going over why it could be raining money in your hands if you follow the instructions of this video and this channel. I'll see you back in 60 seconds. America's most loved show at the midday continues. It's Afternoons. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now for a beautiful June 22nd, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Hope the weather is good where you are. Cooled down a little bit here in Los Angeles today. My dedication to ensure that you have financial stability is bold. My dedication to your financial stability as this downward spiral in this economy picks up speed is here. And back in the month of March, you were looking out for one another. You said, back in the month of March, LA, can you find me some stimulus checks? And I did, with three focuses. One, big checks. I need you to get big checks, tens of thousands of dollars of checks, so that you have a lot of money saved up as we go into September. Then even more money as you're prepared for that recession starting next year. Number two, I wanted to ensure that there's broad eligibility for these checks, so the more of you qualify, and you do. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get them. If you rent, if you own, go get them. If you're young, if you're old, if you're senior, if you're on SSI or if you're on SSDI, go get them. If you have children, if you don't, go get them. Number three, I want to ensure that the viewers understand to get checks and continue to get checks. And I also ensured them to understand the importance of watching videos on a regular basis throughout the day, every single day, and getting checks on the other free hours every day. And now, later in this video, I'm going to help you on getting those checks more than ever before. So let's go over the details of these big checks starting right now. These big checks starting in the month of March. So let's make sure it's been around for a while. You don't want to wait 9 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, or 3 days. You want to get these checks far in advance of September because that's when the economy is going to get really bad. Those checks, I gave a lettering system to, check A, B, and C, and let's go over all these incredible checks starting right now. The first check is $6,500 to $12,000 stimulus check. Imagine how wonderful that is. Do you want a $12,000 stimulus check? Well, go get it. 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you are on benefits, if you're a senior, go get it. It is called the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. How do you get that incredible check? Step 1, you subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Become a member. Go right on this video and become a member. The membership newsletter is then delivered to members. How do you become a member? Under the video where it says join this channel, click it. Click it. Then get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. You go right down that newsletter, you find check A. There it is. It tells you a little bit about it, more about the eligibility, and you follow along and you click. You go in this nationwide website, you click, you go into the state, and then you choose the Weatherizing Grant. You're not going to stop there yet. You're going to go get check B. Look at that. An $80,000 fourth stimulus check. That is not $800. That is not $8,000. That is $80,000. Imagine how long that could provide financial stability for you and your household. Imagine how many bills that could pay for. It's a 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. It's called the Homeowners Grant. And single individuals, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. How do you get it? Have you become a member? Well, then you're ready to go get it. You, as a member, open that membership newsletter, delivered to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for members, and go down to Check B in the newsletter and click the link and go right into the nationwide website. Choose your state and pounce and get it. Routing times are about 1 week out. You're not done there yet because you're going to get more checks thereafter. You're going to go get Check C. Check C, we talked about a lot over the last 2 days about the energy situation, why it's getting so cold in this winter, and why there will likely be a shortage of energy products and the prices will go really through the roof. Check C is that type of checks. Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. You can make about 15 phone calls and you could potentially up to 7 checks at least, I would based upon the track record of the viewers, $2,000 a month over 12 months on average, but many viewers have attracted $45,000, and Lorraine, she has gotten close to $150,000. These incredible Check C's have dated back to the earliest days of this channel. They were around before third stimulus. They became more money in third stimulus, and they're still around today. $20,000 to $30,000 for rent, go get it. Utilities, go get them, up to $15,000. SNAP, $25,000 a year over 10 years from Mark's brother-in-law, go get it. His brother-in-law also got $15,000 for utilities. And then combos. Here we go with the combos. Get multiple checks from Check C's, lots of them. Niece, who's at $23,000, she keeps on going back and getting checks every few days. She's gone from $23,000 to $50,000. Mark, he's gone from $32,000. He was in the live chat last night. Hey, Mark, good to see you again. Went from $32,000 to $50,000, from $50,000 to $100,000. He got Check B. Now he's at $166,000. Lorraine, there she is. She was at $105,000. She went from $105,000 to clearly $120,000. She may be closer to now $150,000 because she keeps on getting money. And how do you get those incredible Check C's? You are a member of this channel. You join the channel. Then you go down into the membership newsletter, and it tells you in the newsletter who to call, what to say, and when to say it. And there you go. When we're talking about your money and getting this money, a lot of things to cover brand new today. First, it's more about the how than the when. If you're a person that's trying to send us with a when, you're not doing it right. When is it? Pause, pause, pause. It's immediately the wrong focus. You're thinking there's just an automatic check landing in your bank account with you doing nothing. No. If you're asking how do I do it this way? How do I do it this way? You're laser focused. You got it right on point. And the other part of the equation, which is very important, which was featured last night on Evenings LA, you can watch tonight's show. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's a great show tonight in prime time. I talked last night about the people who want to not learn anything and won't earn anything, and that I also spoke about history not repeating themselves. You're watching this channel. You're learning how things are done. But what's important for you to understand is that, and remember, is that this is 2022. This is not 2020. People are not going to pay you money from the federal government the way they did in 2020. They're not going to do it the way they did in 2021. So do not expect yourself to be an expert based upon something that happened in the past. This is new. This is what you have to learn today. Viewers always want to know, what's the current situation? What's the video of the moment? This is today. This is the way you got to do it today. You can't say I got it a different way in 2020. We're not in 2020. This is 2022. This is the way it's done today. Moreover, as I explained earlier in this video, you can't wait around for Build Back Better Act. It ain't going to pay you a check in the next 90 days. You need checks right today. What's happening by September? By September, there's a stimulus stampede. A stimulus stampede like you've never seen before. What is a stimulus stampede? It's when millions of Americans show up and say, you got money for me. Now, it's very fascinating that basically a stimulus stampede is what's addressed in this financial news channel's the number one's article today, which is talking about the need for potentially a stimulus check in a recession. Folks, you can't wait to 2023 for checks. By then, you've lost your home, your car, and everything else. You need checks today. I mean, we talk about that extensively, but more importantly, what's important to understand is the fact that there's starting to become a lot more articles about stimulus is that people understand they're going to need help. And here's the problem, is that in me reporting the stories, in me looking at the research of the stories, hours of research going into every video every day, I'm seeing still that the vast majority of Americans have not been told that all those stimulus items of 2020 are gone. They're all gone. Do the average Americans know that PUA is gone, FPUC, EIDL grant, EIDL loan, LWA, PPP? No, I think that if their situation gets very bad very quickly, they're going to ask for that money again, and then they're going to wonder, I thought the money was still around. It's not still around. That's why you need to get this money today before the stimulus stampede is coming. And with that, I have a major announcement for my members. Have you become a member? I hope you have. Go right into this video. Join this channel. A new offering added to this channel for members starting this week, not necessarily today, but this week, will be the following. It will be the workbook pages. Yes, the workbook pages. Inspired by the comments of Lorraine, this channel will now include in the newsletter by the end of the week a link to PDFs that are blank, that are headed with the LALATE logo and themes like the economy, the Federal Reserve, gasoline, so that you can print out these blank worksheets and take notes when you watch the video, just like Lorraine. You notice how my videos are always separated? I have different topics I cover in every video. I always cover the Federal Reserve. I always cover the economy. I always cover gasoline. Now you can print out those pages blank with the headings already set up for you. Gasoline, so you print out the page, you just put in the upper right corner, 6/22, June 22nd. Here's what he said about gasoline today. Let me make a note. Helpful? Yes. Get it all organized, keep it on your desk in your office or in your desk in your living room, and that will be your worksheets for taking notes. You can also use it as worksheets for getting stimulus. Maybe you want to use one of the pages for your checks. So if you're check A, what day did you apply for check A? Write it on your worksheet. What day did you apply for check B? Write it on your worksheet. And yesterday we talked about the importance of relationships, especially for check C. Who did you speak to get the heating oil bill paid in June? We talked about that yesterday. Write down his name, his number, and his extension. Now you'll have a blank worksheet with the LALATE logo and the Purple Power hashtag and the beauties of a heading there in there, a blank piece of paper that is that you can print out and have in front of you to take notes. You'll feel proud as a member of the Purple Power community because you will be able to keep your notes organized. And if you enjoy this offering added to members, then send me a private message saying, I love it, because we'll have new versions of this to come as well. And with that, let's go into the latest details you need to know about what's happening on Wall Street and the oil situation across the board. The White House is having a meeting of executives from the oil companies in the White House this week, and the situation is getting a little bit confusing. But let me tell you what's at issue. OPEC Plus announced just in the last 24 hours that it certainly does have enough gasoline to get the missing gasoline replaced. There's 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing right today internationally. And those 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing have been missing since the embargo of Russian oil. The Western allies, all of the countries as a team, need to get the 3.5 million barrels of gasoline replaced. The only way to do it is from those countries like Venezuela, Brazil, Iran, OPEC Plus, or Saudi Arabia. We do not, never will, have 3.5 million barrels of gasoline in the ground. It doesn't exist. And so the analysts today say, why is the White House bringing in oil executives into the White House to talk about the situation? Those oil executives don't have 3.5 million barrels of gasoline in the ground. In fact, they don't have any capacity to get 3.5 million barrels of gasoline for you. The person who does in the meeting is Joseph Biden. The Western allies and the President of the United States need to go buy the oil. And if they don't buy the oil, world economies go into recession. Not just for inability to drive a car or deliver the truck or put gasoline in the tractor trailer to harvest the crops. It's also for issues like heating oil, jet fuel, travel and leisure, and also heating your home into winter months. When countries do not take care of this, this is what happens. Gasoline goes up. And if gasoline goes up, then the Consumer Price Index number, the CPI, which is an inflationary read, goes up. If inflation goes up, then economies have big trouble. And as inflation goes up, what does Jay Powell do? He raises interest rates. Here is sort of the dynamic of the situation, that it all goes back to the problem of gasoline. And day in, day out, week after week, the Western allies and the White House seem to not understand this. And yet, this continues to be a narrative. And I don't see any change at issue. What does this mean for you? It means we're going to recession. It means we're going to recession because no one in this White House really grasps the situation that you need to get the replaced oil. These Western producers of gasoline in Texas or the Midwest, they do not have 3.5 million barrels of gasoline, and you can parade them in the White House for a media opportunity, but it ain't going to solve the situation. You need to get the gasoline for the Western allies as part of a team. And leaders in all those other countries are now under fire as well because their economies are in big trouble. How bad is it in other countries? They're now talking about maybe having shortages of gasoline so severe that they're going to mandate when you can drive on the street. If you've been around a couple of years in the United States, you have heard this before. When the gas shortage is so severe that they can say you can't drive on certain days of the week. Yeah, imagine that. That's not a good situation. So that's why you have to really get this money and get it really fast. Finally, let's look at what's going on with the stocks, oil, and the economy as well. Tomorrow, the new Department of Labor numbers release, and I'm expecting it to be 230,000 new jobless claims. Last week, I predicted 230, came in 229. It's a horrible number. Can't be that high. Number of continuing unemployment claims is going to be over 1 million. I predict again. I believe it was 1.3 million last week. Stocks, bonds, crypto, oil, what are they doing? Oil has come down a lot in the last 4 days. Have you noticed, if you remember this channel, if you look at that newsletter, it was 120 a week ago, and now it's 113 last night? Yeah, it came down a lot. Viewers have been asking me, why has it come down? It's just because of the volatility of the trading, and it's because of a hedge or a bet that economies are going to slow, so people won't need as much gasoline. You hear that? It's sort of a strange analogy that they think that economies are going to tank, and that if people are working less because there's less jobs, they'll be driving less, and then hence you'll need less gasoline. Yeah, it's sort of a it's a circular argument. It's very, very peculiar, but it's short-lived. It's not going to be continuing. Meantime, when you look at the individual stocks, the stock market is trying to find some normality for a day or two. Do not think this is the bottom. Stocks have a long way down to go. They're going to go down 48% in a recession. And that means whatever level you see stocks today, they're going to go down more in the next 2 years. This is not the bottom. It's just the slow progression downward. They're down 20, the market's down 26%, but they're going to continue to devalue over the next 2 years. Winnebago is up 3.4% when it was with a beat today. Lazy Boar had a beat as well, 8.2%. Revlon surged 32% in pre-market trading and 91% Friday and 60% yesterday after declaring Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Wow. A new report says that 41% of Americans face healthcare debt. This is interesting because we had a story about this a few days ago about the now proposed solution, which is going to become law. They don't have to ask Congress for this, that they're going to make any healthcare debt not pass through your credit report. So it will no longer appear in your credit report, thank goodness. But the healthcare debt in the United States is growing out of control. A couple of things I want you to do for yourself today. Promise yourself you'll do this. First, if you're a senior or you do not dip in your savings, if you are watching this channel and you have any adjustable debt instruments, any adjustable rate debt, get rid of it. Whether it's credit card debt, pay it off. Car loans, pay it off, or switch it to fixed. Because J-Powell's going to have those interest rate spikes. Three-quarter, half, quarter in the next FOMC meetings. It's going to kill you. You got to get rid of it. Number three, if you are an employee, look for a backup job nearby in case you get laid off. Because if you get laid off, there will be no unemployment assistance, and that job next door may not be there. And finally, understand that you are in a group of people who wish to do better for their families. The people who wish to do better for their families are doing the following two things. They're watching this channel and learning where the economy is every single day, and they're getting checks for them and their families throughout the day, every day on this channel. You're going to be the Lorraines. You're going to be the people that take notes. You're going to be people on top of this. And you're going to survive as part of this Purple Power community during this downward spiral of this economy. People are really not. They're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. They're sitting around, they're not learning, they're not educating themselves about anything. They're reading titles, they're not reading the book, they're not learning the how, all they're asking is the when, and they are going to be in big trouble. I'm not here for them. I've always said that. I'm not here for people who don't want to know anything or learn anything or believe that they know everything based upon what happened in 2020 or 2021. This is 2022, and it's a very complicated year, and 2023 is going to be even more complicated. People don't even know the way in which we're going to move into recession. It's that uncertain. The progression downward is going to be very abrupt and very hard to predict. As Liz Warren asked Jay Powell today, is it possible you're going to send us in recession? It is possible, but I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. But what you got to do is prepare accordingly. And with that, God bless. I look forward to seeing you tonight on Ian's LA at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's a big new show tonight. It's America's most watched show for financial news in prime time. Do 3 things right now. Go under this video, subscribe. Then go to the French channel, hit that little bell button, and you know what the third one is. If you haven't done it, you do it right now. Become a member and get that wonderful new offering coming later this week, the worksheets. They will be in the newsletter. And it'll say here, get the worksheets. Click the link. It'll be a PDF, and it'll go right to your printer, and you print them out. Coming later this week, the worksheets. And if you like the idea, then get ready, because we may have similar ideas of new offerings for my members as well coming thereafter. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Have a beautiful day. Stay informed, stay focused. Stay with LA for more.